Okay, so I wanted to in light of like what I said recently, I wanted to think about rethink or explain some of the reasons why I prefer the older ways of viewing games or the older ways of playing, as opposed to folks out of the jam kind of clear mentality. Because especially when you play games that don't have like 10,000 save states, whatever, you only practice more like G-Rev games basically only have a really simple stage practice mode, and I think that's it kind of changes the way you think about approaching your run, or how you approach games, right? I like the intro. The intro is cool.
I don't know. What do you think?
One of the best track modes ever. So I pulled this up. I have save states for every stage. Let me see. I had to make sure my controller was set up first. It's good, simple stuff. I can go back to every stage and play it, right? I'm not going to play this stage, obviously, because I'm not doing a run. But, I can go to, what do I have I'm 5, right? I have it on the boss. So, my mentality is, let's say I finish stage 1. When I'm not doing a real run, if I'm just playing the game, what I do is I force myself to only play. I basically would play like if I was playing a G-Rev game in port mode, so stages. If I have trouble on a boss or something, I will have a state for that boss. But otherwise, like if I go to state 2, this is stage 2, this section. And every time I play a run, if I'm playing a run or not, what I do is I will make a version of this. I will make a version of a save state for every run I have, for every section. Every time I play the game, right, I will basically save a snapshot of that place in the run I'm in. Because the reason why is it's not like it's sort of like this. Let's say I die, right? I kill myself or something, right? So let's say I don't want to die immediately because I'll play this real quick. So let's say like I die, right? So in the older school way of playing games, right? I'm playing the run. I'm doing fine. I'm doing good. I got all the stuff I need. I'm hitting all my benchmarks, maybe. I'm playing well. Everything's working out. There's no reason to practice a lot of these sections, right? If I'm making a mistake, it's most likely being made from the beginning. There's a mental issue, or there's something like my routing is perfect, right? My routing's fine for what I'm doing, or what I planned, right? It should be locked down. And let's say I made a mistake. Oops. Oh. I think. Am I gonna go back and make a state for that? No, that's stupid, right? Why bother making a state for something as stupid as that? I understand why in Danmaku you'd make a state for various states because you need to figure the routing. But for me, if I died here and went to red, I don't like playing the stage on red. I hate the stage on red. It's very. They made the stage on red here to punish you if you got hit. No, I'm going back to the beginning. Why am I going back to the beginning? Because in the arcade, you would be punished and sent back to stage 1. Here, I'll do it right now. I'm gonna go back to stage 1. I'm just gonna get hit on red. There's this mental map. When you see this screen, this continue screen, there's this mental thing that pops up in my mind, personally, as someone who was born before 9/11. There's like I have very strong memories. Up till very recently, I go to the arcade, I play the game, I have only X amount of quarters. You know, I only have an X amount of opportunities to play a game. And when the continue, I remember in the year 2000, when I first played, you know, I think that's my earliest memory of the arcade. I probably played before then, but I can't remember. I still remember, you know, playing Metal Slug X at the arcade, and the dreaded, I have 4 quarters. You know, I have 4 chances to play this game. And what made me want to get better was, I only have 4 quarters. I don't want to, like, waste them, you know, and the continue screen removes my score. You know, if I put a coin in for continues, you know, I don't have my score goes to 0. So I have this mentality around, like, if I make a mistake, if I'm playing this game and I make a mistake, then, you know, there should be some sort of punitive, because the game's free now. There needs to be some sort of punitive answer to making mistakes. And I don't think, like, it's not effective, it's not efficient, but it kind of drills into your mind at the same time, this sort of mental thing. So, like, if I go here, do I have a state for... Yeah, I do have a state for the boss. So I don't have a state for stage 5, but I have a stage for the boss. For example, here. I'll just do this. I haven't been playing this in a while, so I don't remember all the routing. So hopefully I get this right. That, and then kill these guys, kill this. Bum. Bum. Kill that. Dun, 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 dun. Done. Can I do it again? I'm surprised I remember this. I haven't actually, like, because, like, I do runs every now and then. I do runs, but I don't, like, often I'm a bit like shaky on stage 3 boss. Stage 3 boss on the route I play stage 3 on red, and the stage 3 red boss is actually kind of. See, I think the stage 3 boss in general is really a ball buster. Let's see if I remember to do this. Done. I got this. Nope, I'm dead. So there's a way to route. Actually, I don't even route this properly. I need to learn. This is stage I haven't put a lot of time into this. This is why my runs aren't for my 60 runs aren't really that good right now, because I can beat this boss, like, technically, like, with some work. But there's a better way to play it. In the old replays, you see they kind of, like, go up in the corner. They kind of, like, play up at the top. And I need to rewatch those and really figure that out. I haven't put that much time into it because I've been playing other games. So, I mean, how it is. But, you know, I have this state here to practice, but I don't, like... But generally, most of the bosses in this game I don't bother practicing. The only reason I have a state for this boss is because of this section here. It's this thing. Because this section I find rather difficult. See, like, I usually get hit by random things. And the way I've been dealing with it often is just doing this, right? Just use the laser. And just kind of, like, laser your way through stuff. Because what happens is when you break the stuff pops. But, like, it's... If you a good player, if you watch those super plays, you know, they're good. They're not using laser; they're just dodging everything. You know, I'm not that good. If I get through that section of the thing, it's either I'm lucky because I was able to. I got a good seed on the randomizer for how he rotates, because sometimes they rotate differently depending on, like, just like a random seed, and I either got lucky or I made some really good dodges or something. But, like, I have the state to practice a section, but it's not really effective to practice necessarily because, like, often, like, here, this is why I'm kind of against the save state thing, is because I can save this state, but it doesn't mean, and I can practice this state, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be this exactly. You know, there's a little random stuff that happens every time, once you load up the stage, I don't know if it's when the boss spawns, when the stage is loaded, or when the game starts up. The seeds are determined, but there are random seeds. There are random aspects of this game that the save state can't alleviate. It can't fix anything. You have to play the stage from scratch. You know, and you have to be able to do it from the beginning. So for me personally, you know, if I'm playing a game, I need to be able to play from the beginning to the end of a stage. If I can't do it, I can't do it. You know, I do a run. I will make a save state on every stage just as a snapshot. You know, it's not, you know, because I'm not recording my runs, so I don't have to be like, you know, I do this raw, all in, no save states, everything. No. When I make a mistake, I can go back and kind of replay the stage from the beginning and see, like, where did I mess up? Like, what in my situation is, like, on stage 2, you know, if you look at, like, I got 2 laser level, so I have an advantage. Sometimes I come off, if I make a mistake on stage 1 boss, I'll have less laser, and that'll mean that, so I have to come back and do a post-mortem on if I make a mistake on this stage, which can happen. You know, you can just play a game like this and just make a mistake. That's very possible. You know, no run is perfect. We're human. You know, I mean, it's nice to just be able to just go back and do this, and it's not efficient. I understand it's not efficient, but it drills into you a sort of, like, there's a certain, like, boomer mentality about going back to stage 1 every time you lose. You know, you have to. Are you going to finish the game as fast as somebody who has, like, 99 save states and has figured out every interaction down to a science because they could? No, you're not. But, like, at the same time, you have to drill in certain fundamentals. And I mean, if you could have a save state on Hibachi, and you could practice every interaction of Hibachi, but if you die in stage 2, having 10,000 save states on Hibachi isn't going to make you clear the game any faster, because you spent so much time. You know, it's like missing leg day. You spent so much time working on your upper body, you ignored the basic fundamental things that move you, the things that get you into the gym and out of the gym. You're not thinking about the game holistically. You're too hyper focused on, like, I need to do X or Y, you know, in some way, you know, younger people with access to all the things that are better players. You know, I'm completely fine with saying someone who's a teenager is better than me. That's completely fine. That's just a fact. You know, being a digital native makes you that. But at the same time, they're deficient in scope. They're deficient in thinking, in my opinion, in thinking about the greater picture, right? So the greater picture of the game is, you know, there's this video essay about difficulty. I think most of it's kind of like warbling and just talking, but there was this essay about in the beginning he talks about Ninja Gaiden, and just talks about, like, every time he died on the final boss of Ninja Gaiden, he was sent back to, I think, like, stage 4, and he had to replay stage 4 again and again and again and again every time he died. And this is sort of unlike R-Type, where or Gradius, where if you get sent back to the checkpoint and you just die, in Ninja Gaiden, you know, you still have the same level of power, right? So you have to play the game again and again and again and again. And as you play that game again and again, as you get forced back to the basic situation, you have to grind out really basic things, really honest things, like just the fundamentals. And, you know, those fundamentals build up. Like, arcade games are built on a bedrock of foundations. We have to assume that the developer is someone who is trying to, if they're making a good game, the first stage is the vertical slice. The first stage is the core concept of the game. And if your first stage should be an introduction to everything that's going to happen later, and each stage should build off that, right? Each arcade game, an arcade game should build. Either they should expand upon that essential thing, or they should throw new kind of questions about mechanics, or, oh, what would you do here, what would you do here, and you play the game again and again and again and again to learn, to figure out, and as you play the game, you learn holistically how it works. Like, a game should be made to teach you these things as you play it. I know that people say, like, it shouldn't be a tutorial stage or whatever. No. The whole game, it's not that it should be a tutorial stage, but it should, I think a game should lay itself bare to you as you play it. It should make itself obvious, and as you play, you develop skills that will help you in the next section, in the next section, the next section. In stage 1, if you learn routing in stage 1, if you learn the idea, the philosophy behind how the game works, like, I go to stage 1, right? Here, the entire philosophy of the game exists within this section. So I'm just gonna do that, right? So we have the enemy types, and the way you play the game is right here. I'm gonna make a mistake, probably, obviously. Yeah, there. I made a mistake. It's okay. I didn't get the... Everything's already here. The fundamentals of routing, right there. Up, down. The fundamentals of where you want to speed kill. How you want to move around the screen. Switching between enemy types. Wow, there's multiple enemies on the screen. Who do I focus on? What do I do? It's all here. And then you go to this section. This is going to teach you about laser. This is going to say, okay, you have a laser. What are you going to do with it? I'm going to do this. I'm going to go in. You know, this is fundamental to the game. This is the essentials of this game. And if you're going to... the reason why they exist... This is sort of like a warm-up stage, in my opinion. So, like, the reason why, when I play a run, I will probably play only stage 1 3 times. First of all, because if I switch off games, I like to get a little warm-up because my muscle memory might change or something. I have a lot of issues with this game where I play this game on so many controllers. Sometimes, in the moment, I'll go for the speed change, or I'll go for the laser, and I'll hit the wrong button. And so I like to, before I run the game, for real, I always want to do a couple practice runs just to warm up, just to remember, okay, this is my muscle memory, these are where my buttons are, I don't want to mess up. But also because, you know, this warms you into the game, this gives you, this is what the game is going to be. And then each time you play the next stage, you go to stage 4, you know. What is stage 4? Stage 4 builds on this concept of the routing. So we have the same concepts that we see in stage 1 up here. Right? There's a lot of self-similarity to the concept, because the concept is the game itself. It is what the game is about. And a lot of this is how arcade games are made. They're built around a central concept, and you use that concept, and you develop on that concept, and you make something, you know. There's no gimmicks, there's no bullshit, there's no extra mini games or anything. The point of these games is to deal with a core concept, a core question, a core problem. In the game should be built around that, right? And if you kind of... the reason why I don't like tourism necessarily is because I think it does a great disservice to the people who make these games. Because they make these games with a lot of intentions. You know, they don't just want to make a game for people to beat. They want to make a game for people to play and enjoy and find a reason to say, I want to play this game over a different game, right? It's the point. You know, the point of arcade culture is not just to make games that can rake in money for for operators. The point of it is to develop ideas for people to enjoy. You know, because I mean, at the end of the day, the coin operator is your main customer, but at the same time, the person who's putting coins in that machine is more important. because the coin operator puts in the operator puts in like the initial payment, but all the money that comes in after is an expectation that you made a game that will draw people to say, I want to play this game. I don't want to play this game from Hibachi from save state 99. I want to play this game from stage 1 to stage 5. Why? Because every stage of this game is enjoyable for me. Because like if I didn't enjoy stage 1 or stage 2 or stage 4 or the boss of stage 3 red or whatever, why would I play this game? Like, why would I care? I'm not playing this game because 6D is my end goal. Now, I'd like to get there. I'd like to eventually beat 6D. You know, I didn't play the game originally because I wanted to beat 6A or 6B. You know, I beat those eventually, but like that wasn't the reason why I first played the game. I played the game because it looked cool, and then I fell in love with it because I fell in love with how it works, the stages, all the aspects, everything about it. You know, games aren't just, you know, things you throw darts at on the board. They're not just like movies that you watch to put on your... I have to listen to a lot of albums, you know, so I can get cultured. I have to play these games so I can get cultured. I have to watch all these movies so I can get cultured. No. There has to be more to these things than just, I'm going through all these things because they're classics or they're good or I was told I need to beat this game. You know, there has to be more to it than that. So those are my thoughts.